Yo, what's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're ranking every Kagune in Ro-Ghoul, the popular Tokyo Ghoul-inspired game on Roblox. Whether you're just starting out or looking to switch things up, this tier list will help you figure out which Kagune are the absolute best in the current meta. In Ro-Ghoul, Kagune are the unique, powerful weapons that every ghoul uses. They're your main tools in battle, so picking the right one can make a huge difference whether you're fighting NPCs, going head-to-head in PvP, or grinding for yen and RC. Before you unleash your inner ghoul, check out this tier list to see which Kagune are really worth using. If you're new to the game, you can grab your first Kagune over on the Ro-Ghoul Roblox page, and don't forget to check out our Ro-Ghoul codes guide to score some extra yen, RC, and other freebies. Oh, and if you're a Tokyo Ghoul fan in general, we've also got a tier list for Tokyo Ghoul, Break the Chains, the gacha game based on the same series. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you find this helpful. We're always dropping new tier lists, guides, and updates for the best anime games on Roblox. Plus, it helps more Ghoul fans like you find these videos. Let's get into it. D tier, Ro-Ghoul Kagune tier list. Let's start with the D tier, where we place the weakest Kagune in the entire game. These are either outdated, underpowered, or simply not viable in most scenarios, whether it's PvP or PvE. Here's why each one ends up at the bottom. Renji Yomo, Bukaku. Yomo's Kagune may have a cool visual style with its electric effects, but it struggles where it matters most, damage and utility. It lacks the range and burst potential you'd expect from Bukaku, and its mobility is underwhelming. It's difficult to land hits consistently, making it ineffective in combat. Shuu Tsukiyama, Kukaku. Tsukiyama's Kukaku is meant to be a durable, defensive Kagune, but it suffers from being far too slow and clunky. The hitboxes feel off, and it doesn't provide the kind of pressure needed to deal with faster or more aggressive opponents. As it stands, it's just not competitive with other options. Nishiki Nishio, Bikaku. Nishiki's Kagune is very basic and feels more like a training wheels option than something that can hold up in real fights. Its damage is low, its combos are limited, and it lacks the speed and versatility of other Bikaku. It's easily outclassed by almost everything else in the game. If you're using any of these Kagune, you're likely putting yourself at a disadvantage. It's highly recommended to move on to something more effective as soon as possible. Now, let's move on to the C tier, where things start to get a little better. C tier, Ro-Ghoul Kagune tier list. Moving on to the C tier. These Kagune aren't quite as weak as the ones we just looked at, but honestly, I still don't think they're worth using. There are simply much better options available that outperform these in nearly every way. Let's break them down. Kakukong, Chimera. Kakukong is an interesting Kagune on paper, being a chimera with both Bikaku and Kukaku traits, but in practice, it really underdelivers. It tries to do everything and ends up doing nothing particularly well. The moves feel slow, the damage is mediocre, and it lacks the range or crowd control to keep up in either PvP or PvE. Overall, it's just an awkward and inefficient Kagune to use. Koutarou Amon, Ukaku. Amon's Ukaku has a strong visual identity and lore significance, but gameplay-wise, it feels extremely underwhelming. The projectile-based attacks are slow and easy to dodge, and the damage output doesn't make up for how hard it is to land consistent hits. It also lacks mobility and close-range options, making it a poor pick against aggressive players. While these Kagune may have some niche appeal or visual flair, they're generally outclassed by almost everything in the higher tiers. If you're looking to be competitive or grind efficiently, it's best to steer clear of these. Up next, we'll be looking at the B tier, where Kagune start becoming more viable and balanced. B tier, Ro-Ghoul Kagune tier list. Now we're moving into the B tier. These Kagune aren't bad by any means, they're decent and can definitely carry you through the game. But compared to the higher tier options, they just fall a little short. If you're using one of these, you'll be fine, but if you get the chance to upgrade to something better, you absolutely should. Kakujira, Chimera. Kakujira has a bulky, tank-like playstyle and does have a few decent tools for crowd control and survivability. It's especially fun to use against NPCs thanks to its wide attacks, but it feels too slow and predictable in PvP. It lacks the offensive pressure and mobility needed to compete with faster Kagune. Kosshi, Okaku. Kosshi is a solid Okaku with decent projectile pressure, but that's about it. It struggles with consistency and doesn't really stand out in any particular area. It's okay for mid-game content, but it lacks the speed and burst damage you'd expect from a top-tier Okaku. Lycan, Kukaku. Lycan offers a decent balance between offense and defense, and it's got some good-looking animations to go with it. However, it suffers from the same issues as many Kukaku: slow movement, clunky hitboxes, and a lack of flexibility. It's usable, but you'll find better options the further you progress. Yakumo Oomori, Rinkaku. Yomori's Kagune is all about brute force, with heavy-hitting attacks and intimidating range. It's definitely one of the more usable Rinkaku Kagune in this tier, but it's still pretty slow and lacks combo potential. It's great for newer players who want to feel powerful, but more experienced users will likely find it limiting. Noro, Bikaku. Noro's Kagune brings some unique mechanics to the table with its regeneration and multi-hit attacks. It's a cool choice with some flashy moves, but its overall damage output is low, and it's not the most efficient pick for grinding or PvP. Good for fun, but not for meta play. Tatara, Bikaku. Tatara's Bikaku looks aggressive and feels powerful at times, especially with its fast flurry-style attacks. However, it lacks the range and combo utility to really shine. It ends up being very average, good enough to get by, but not good enough to dominate. So overall, these Kagune are passable choices, especially if you're in early or mid-game stages. But if you're aiming for peak performance, you'll want to eventually move on to something stronger. Let's keep going. Next up is the A tier, where the real threats start showing up. A tier, Ro-Ghoul Kagune tier list. Now we're getting into the A tier, where the Kagune really start to shine. These are strong options that can help you dominate both PvP and PvE. Each of these has solid damage output, unique abilities, and the kind of versatility that gives you control over the battlefield. While they might not be the absolute best in the game, they're definitely reliable picks for serious players. Tonakai, Chimera. Tonakai is a very well-rounded Chimera Kagune. It has great area control, strong AoE attacks, and solid survivability. The moveset allows you to zone enemies effectively while still dishing out respectable damage. It can feel a little slow at times, but the range and utility make up for it in most situations. Ito Yoshimura, Okaku. Ito's Okaku stands out with its deadly ranged pressure and high-speed combat style. It excels at keeping enemies at a distance and punishing them with rapid-fire attacks. The projectiles hit hard and the kit flows well, making it one of the better Okaku in the game. A strong choice for players who like to keep the fight under their control. Seidou Takizawa, Okaku. Seidou's Kagune is another top-tier Okaku, bringing even more aggression to the table. It combines range with mobility and can overwhelm opponents with fast, multi-directional attacks. The burst potential is high, and it's a great pick for PvP if you know how to stay mobile and keep pressure on your target. Kichimaru Washuu, Rinkaku. Kichimaru's Rinkaku is a very powerful Kagune with strong combo potential and massive hitboxes. It's excellent for locking down enemies and keeping them under constant pressure. With a good balance of speed and power, this Kagune can easily carry you through tough content and holds its own in PvP as well. If you're using any of these Kagune, you're already in a great spot. They give you the tools to outplay most opponents and grind efficiently. But if you want to see the absolute best of the best, stay tuned. Next up is the S tier, where the top tier picks live. Here's the final and most powerful section of your Ro-Ghoul Kagune tier list video, the S tier. This part emphasizes just how dominant these Kagune are, while tying in the lore with Kaneki's placement. The tone stays confident and clear. S tier, Ro-Ghoul Kagune tier list. Finally, we've made it to the S tier, the absolute best Kagune you can use in Ro-Ghoul. These Kagune dominate every area of the game, whether it's PvP duels, farming RC, or dealing with bosses. They have high damage, excellent range, great mobility, and unique abilities that put them far above the rest. And of course, it's no surprise that Kaneki's Kagune is here. He's the main character of the Tokyo Ghoul series, so it makes perfect sense that he's also one of the strongest in the game. Hinami Fueguchi, Chimera. Hinami's Chimera Kagune is a monster in both PvP and PvE. It combines strong AoE attacks with great zoning and defensive capabilities. The moveset flows well and gives you full control of the fight, making it a nightmare for opponents to deal with. One of the best all-around Kagune in the game right now. Touka Kirishima, Ukaku. Touka's Ukaku is incredibly fast, aggressive, and efficient. It's perfect for players who like to rush in and stay mobile. The projectile attacks are quick and precise, with a moveset that allows you to maintain pressure without overcommitting. It's a top-tier choice for both grinding and competitive play. Kaneki, Rinkaku. Kaneki's Rinkaku is exactly what you'd expect, powerful, relentless, and incredibly fun to use. It's got huge damage potential, versatile combos, and excellent reach. Whether you're going toe-to-toe in PvP or clearing groups of NPCs, Kaneki's Kagune gets the job done and then some. Easily one of the strongest picks in the game. Akuma no Ketsueki, Ukaku. This is the top-tier Ukaku when it comes to raw firepower and pressure. It offers insane burst damage and quick cooldowns, letting you overwhelm enemies before they can even react. It rewards aggressive play but still gives you just enough mobility to stay safe. If you like hitting hard and fast, this is your go-to Kagune. All of these S-tier Kagune give you the tools to dominate Ro-Ghoul. If you're lucky enough to have one of them, or grind your way toward getting one, you'll be in a great position to take on anything the game throws at you.